Imagine you're about to attend a sport that you can't technically play. Then it hits you. You're going to watch something that's not a real sport. There is a reason why you can't play track, racing, or wrestling. These sports, just to name a few, are not real sports because they don't have a ball in them. Any sport that does not have a ball is not a sport. Today, I'll be explaining why sports that don't require a ball are not sports. To start us off with a speech, we'll be going over different sports that aren't real. There are many sports out there that people know and love. However, are they real sports? Many of them don't have a ball, which means they're obviously not real sports. It is pretty easy to tell if a sport has a ball in it or not. Even if just by hearing other people talk about it, you can say you play it, then it must if you can't play it, then it must not be a sport at all. There are lots of notable games that just simply aren't sports since they don't have a ball. Next, we will name a few and explain why they aren't real sports. Wrestling is obviously not a sport because it does not have a ball. Also, you can't play wrestling, you wrestle. This is clear evidence on why wrestling is not a sport. These same rules apply for boxing as well. You can't play boxing, you box. Track is also not a sport. Same goes with cross country. There's no way running a circle over and over again is a real sport. The play rule from above applies to this one as well. This also rules out racing as a sport because it's the same thing except instead of running, you're driving. Now that we've been through one point, let's dive into another reason why these sports aren't real. Sports with balls are much more fun to watch. When a ball is being flung through the air, or people or things, it is exciting. It is entertaining for everybody when a ball is floating in the air or something. All the fans are always on the edge of their seat, waiting to see what happens. In an article from the Chicago Tribune, they made a list of sports that are the most fun to watch. They even divided which ones were most fun to watch in person or on TV. Every single sport they mentioned had a ball or puck in it. There aren't many cool spectating moments in sports without a ball. There are no game-winning shots where everybody is anxious to see what happens. There are no jump balls in the back of the end zone where all the fans are wondering who's going to come down with it. When big things happen in sports without a ball, you can usually see it coming. If not, it happens very quickly and there isn't much suspense to it. Normally, you can tell who's going to come out on top unless there's a sudden knockout or a pin. Now that we've gone over another reason why sports with balls are way better, let's switch gears and go over another reason why sports without balls are pointless. There's a crazy amount of variety of sports that include balls. Your objective could range from hitting a ball into something, kicking it, throwing it, or rolling it even. There are many different things balls are used for in sports. However, they all still keep the same excitement for watching the ball and wondering what's going to happen. Sports that include balls can be so much different from each other. This gives you opportunities to watch multiple different real sports. People love to spice up their life with some variety. If you are a fan of athletics that include balls, this will definitely do the trick. Sports that don't require a ball in them usually are quite similar to each other. Track and cross country, they're pretty much the same thing. Wrestling and boxing are related to each other because it's two people and it either ends by a pin or a knockout. If not, the time runs out and you're watching pretty much the same action the whole time. When you watch sports with balls, that problem does not occur. These sports are still timed, but the action during the time is always changing. 1 second, you can be on the offense, and then you can be on the defense in the same play. This is what makes sports with balls stand out compared to sports without them. Today, we've learned a lot about why sports without balls are just truly not sports. All athletes should consider these facts that I have just shared when deciding what sport they want to participate in. If you want to participate in a real sport that is exciting for everybody, then I strongly suggest that you choose a sport that has a ball in it. Your peers are more than likely heard about the sports without balls aren't sports theory. Therefore, if you are smart, choose a sport with a ball in it, you won't receive any criticism for playing a sport that isn't a real sport. So make wise choices and make sure the sport has a ball in it.